Hi everyone, my name is Diana and this is my informative speech. And I want to go ahead and kick off my speech by asking everyone a question, and that is how often do you hear on the news or see on Facebook, Twitter, any other social media platform of crimes happening in areas around you? And I'm talking more specifically of crimes such as rape and kidnapping. And I'm sure that unfortunately most of us answered pretty often to this question because it is happening a lot more frequently than we would expect, and it's happening in areas very close to us. RAINN, which is an anti-sexual assault association, they actually went ahead and informed everybody that 68% of assaults will not go recorded, and 98% of rapists won't even spend a single day in jail. When you take a minute to process all this, that is a quite sad and very scary and very unfortunate statistic. And what the craziest part about all of this is that any victim who was ever raped or kidnapped, none of them expected that to be happening to them. And nobody would ever expect anything like that to happen to them until it does. Which is why I want to go ahead and take a couple minutes in the speech to go ahead and inform everyone on simple ways to be more actively aware and to stay more safe on your day-to-day basis when you're out doing day-to-day things. The more informed you are about this topic, the quicker you can go ahead and point to signs of potential threat, and the quicker you can go ahead and get help and stay ultimately more safe. And the first thing that I want to talk about is simply being more aware. Teen Vogue, which is a teens fashion magazine, they actually went ahead and put out an article about kidnapping. And the first thing they advised was to go ahead and be more actively aware of your surroundings. And what they mean by this, how do they tie this into this topic, is when you're walking, to stay away from your phone. Look up and know what's going on around you. Take your earphones out of your ears. Hear what's going on around you. When you get into your car, lock the doors. Check your car before you get into your car, as you never know what could be going on. The second thing that I want to go ahead and discuss is knowing what goes through an attacker's head. And this is actually what inspired me to go ahead and discuss this topic, because I stumbled across a very interesting article called Through a Rapist's Eyes. And this article involves a man going to jail and interviewing rapists. And they basically went ahead and spilled all their secrets. And a theme that was going on amongst them was easy targets. Rapists look for easy targets, which takes me back to my first tip, and that is to simply be more aware, because people who are not distracted are not easy targets. Something that is an easy target would make somebody who seems like they are less willing to put up a fight. Because if you are willing to put up a fight, the rapist will not have that kind of time for you. And last but not least, I want to go ahead and give you guys a couple tips on what to do if you ever find yourself hand in hand with an attacker, and if you ever find yourself a victim of an attack. And what I would advise you to go ahead and do is scream and yell and bring attention to the situation, because attackers don't have that time for somebody who is willing to put up a fight. They want an easy target, and if they ever go ahead and try to put their hands on you, you have to be able to outsmart them. Something very interesting that the article went ahead and said was that your goal is not to win the fight. Your goal is to go ahead and get away. Your goal is to go ahead and basically run away from the situation and bring attention to the situation. So the second you have a chance to do that, you should take the opportunity and go ahead and run. And that means bringing a lot of attention to what's going on, and that means outsmarting the attacker. So to conclude the speech, I want to go ahead and advise everybody to be more aware and to know what is going on around you, because you would never expect any of these kind of things to happen to you until it does. So in this speech, I was able to go ahead and discuss some of the tips and tricks that I gathered about this situation, and teach everyone how to be more safe on your day-to-day life, and how to be more aware on your day-to-day life, and how to simply avoid this kind of situation from ever happening to you. And that is to be more aware of your surroundings, to know what would go through an attacker's head whenever they're trying to look for somebody to attack, and how to get out of a situation if you are ever finding yourself being attacked. And I know that a lot of what I said may seem like common sense, but to a lot of people, common sense isn't so common anymore. Like, for example, being on your phone. That is not so common anymore, and it's better to be reinformed than ever find yourself in a dangerous situation.